Hey, fellow 9 to CEOs, welcome to the second episode of my podcast. Today is Wednesday, and I just finished my day job, and I am feeling so pooped, but now is the time to record this podcast because, as we know, this is how we do it. We make the most of whatever time that we have, and we just get shit done. So this week I wanted to talk about a new challenge that I am pursuing for myself, and maybe it might be a good inspiration or a motivation for those of you listening in. So some of you might be aware of a thing called 75 Hard Challenge. And for those who aren't, it's a challenge created by, I think his name is Andrew. I'll find out what the name of the creator was and share it on the screen if you are watching this from YouTube. But pretty much it's a challenge where every day you do these 5 things. Let's see if I can remember it, because I'm not doing the 75 hard challenge, but like a modified version of it. So in the original 75 hard challenge, every day you're meant to be working out, like exercising twice a day for 45 minutes each session. And one of those workout sessions have to be outdoors. You need to be drinking like gallons of water. I don't know. I'm in Australia. We don't work in gallons. So I don't know if that sounds about right. But essentially you're drinking whatever enough amount of water that you should be consuming for your age, gender and height, weight, all that kind of stuff. And then you read, I think it was like 10 pages. And then you also take a photo of yourself to track your progress. And then what was the 5th thing? Oh, and then you follow whatever diet you want to choose, you want to follow for 75 days, you choose that. And you pretty much every day you try to do those 5 things. And as soon as you miss a day where you haven't done all 5 of those things, you have to start from the start and start your 75 days all over again. So it's called a hard challenge for a reason. So like I mentioned, I'm not doing that, but I'm doing a modified version of that. And so I'm doing what I call a 30 hard challenge. So as you might suspect, I'm doing it for 30 days, not 75 days. But the same rule is that if I go a day without doing all the things that I wanted to do, then I'm going to have to start my 30 days all over again. And I feel like I chose 30 days because I'm a wimp and I can't just sticking to this kind of challenge of 75 days just sounds impossible for me, but 30 days does seem doable, but still like a challenge is still hard enough. And I feel like doing something for 30 days straight would be long enough for at least one of those things to turn into like a good habit or starting to turn into a habit. So it's not as hard to do. And how else I've modified this challenge is that I've sort of tweaked how I'm going to do this. So instead of the 2 45-minute workout sessions, I'm just letting myself do one 30-minute workout session. And trust me, that's like hard enough for me as it is. So if I can do that for 30 days straight, like it'll be such an achievement. So that's my workout done. And then instead of reading 10 pages, like a set number of pages, because sometimes I read on Kindle, sometimes I'm listening to audiobooks, so tracking pages is not very practical for me. So I've changed it to read for 15 minutes. So that could be reading like a physical book or on my ebook reader, or even listening to an audiobook for at least 15 minutes. So, and that has to be a non-fiction book that helps me in some shape or form. And then from a water consumption perspective, for me, I think I did some research a while back. So that for someone such as myself, my height, my weight, my gender, age, whatever, I should be, or maybe it was just a blanket rule for all females, I can't remember. But essentially, I should be drinking at least 2 liters of water a day. So that's the 3rd thing I'm aiming to do every day. And then there is a 4th thing, which is instead of taking photos of myself and tracking progress through that way, I'm just going to weigh myself. And I guess one of the things that I want to get out of this is that I've been gaining a little bit of weight in the past months. So I am trying to just get back into shape. And as part of that, when I was doing research about weight loss and getting into shape, apparently you should be weighing yourself every day. And, there's just like a whole psychology behind it. But yeah, so instead of taking photos, I'm just going to weigh myself. And then the fifth thing that I'm going to be doing every day is to work on my business, Elite Reformer, at least for 2 hours a day. And I want this to be more, ideally less admin sort of daily operational work and more of like a focused business growth work. So for example, any 2 hours of work is good enough for me, but ideally I'm not spending just 2 hours like replying to emails or mainly replying to emails, and instead I'm doing things that are going to be growing my business. Like for example, the biggest thing that I'm focusing on my business at the moment is just rewriting all my automated email series so that as soon as a customer subscribes to our newsletter or abandons their cart or checkout, things like that, then I've got like a solid series. I've got some basic email series set up on a store, but I'm just currently redesigning and rewriting all the emails so it's just more valuable for our customers and more insightful and less spammy and not helpful, if that makes sense. Maybe I'll just do another separate episode one day about how I do the email series, because I learned from one of our business community members around how they do their email series, and I was just like, wow, that sounds amazing. So that sort of inspired me to redo all my email series. So anyway, so I want to be spending time doing more things like that. That's going to help grow my business as opposed to like daily operational stuff, like reactive stuff. So anyway, so yeah, that's the 2 hours. And I'm pretty sure there was one thing. Hang on, let me just grab my phone. So I've got it on my Notion. I've got this tracker here. So I only just started like a few days ago on Monday to be precise. And today is Wednesday. Yeah. And then so the sixth thing is that the diet that I'm sticking to is no particular diet, but I am going to be calorie counting again. I've done it many times before, and it's really the only effective way that I've lost weight and got into shape. So at the moment, I've set up I use the MyFitnessPal app. It's a very popular one. That's the one I would recommend. I don't know. I haven't used that many different calories trackers, but I have used a few different ones back in the days, and MyFitnessPal app is, I don't know, I feel like it's just got like the biggest database of like food and its calories and stuff. So that's what I'm using to track. And at the moment I've set it up so that I want to lose about 0.2 kg per week. Usually I set it up so that I'm losing 0.5 kg per week, but I start getting like, I don't know, it just, when I start jumping straight into that, like it's like a shock to the system to me, and I start getting really hangry. I get so hungry, and yeah, so I'm easing into it with just losing 0.2 kg per week, and then as my body starts getting used to the calorie restriction, then I'll start bumping it up to the 0.5 kgs. So yeah, those are the 6 things that I'm doing. So the sticking to the calories restriction, exercising for 30 minutes, drinking 2 liters of water, reading for 15 minutes, business work for 2 hours, and weighing myself. But weighing myself, I'm going to just leave it as optional because it doesn't really make that much difference for me at the end of the day. It's really more the other things that's on this list that's really going to make an impact for me, either for my health, my brain, my soul, my business, all that good stuff. So anyways, and the reason why I decided to start this challenge is because as business owners, like, it is so hard to be a business owner just in general. You know, it's just mentally exhausting, emotionally exhausting, so rewarding, you know, and so fulfilling, but it is so hard being an entrepreneur. And then to do that on top of a full-time job, even more exhausting. You know, it's anybody who says otherwise is lying. Or they are just so lucky and hit the jackpot somehow. You know, it is hard. But, there's a way around it. And I think a way to navigate that hardship is to make sure that you've got a really good foundation. And what I mean by that is, just good foundation set for like your health, both your physical health, your mental health, you're getting enough sleep, you're eating healthy, exercising, you just got like that good foundation, and you've got good habits, you're self-disciplined, and you've got a good mindset. Like, because if you don't have all those things, I think it just makes it so hard to pursue a business, let alone doing it on top of your full-time job. And, to be honest, just like the past few months, I have been, I've hit like a bit of a slump with my business. So I had like a really great month back in December, just with the Christmas high. Like, it was just, so good, so crazy. But then things have just slowed down between January to March, and and on top of the slowdown, I've just had all sorts of issues come up. All sorts of challenges that I've had to work through in my business. It has been taking a bit of toll on me. My mental health hasn't been that amazing, just been really up and down. So I was talking about it with a friend actually last weekend, and we were talking about how I used to be so good. I'd get up at like 5 a.m. every morning, get my workout done, and just like sticking to my calories, eating super healthy, losing weight, being in shape. And like, in my mindset just would be, when you're doing all those good things like for your health, your physical health, it can't, like, it just has to flow on to your mental health as well. Like, it can't not flow onto your mental health, if you get what I mean. So yeah, and so my mindset was great, like, and I was just smashing out so much work. Like, even though I was really tired, like, I still managed to like get so much work done. And that's when, and that was sort of like the first 8 months of my business, and just so much growth in there. And I was just doing so many things as well that was like totally outside of my comfort zone. But then I don't know like what happened, just like a few things, I think I know what happened, but like a few things just added up, and I sort of got into a slump, and my headspace just hasn't been that great. I was thinking about like, I know it's possible for me to be the best version of myself because I've done it before. How can I get that back? And I realized that as I was talking about it, when I was consistently getting up early, working out, eating healthy, like getting work done, I was doing my 30 hard challenge then as well. I did a slightly different version of the 30 hard challenge, but very similar to what I just mentioned. So yeah, I just realized that doing that challenge actually helped me, like just being able to, and I had the same, like a very similar tracker set up on my Notion, and I was like ticking every time, I did. And let's see if I can actually find, if you're watching this from YouTube as well. Yeah, it's a bit hard to see on my phone. Yeah, I was just like tracking, and I was pretty good. And actually this was around the time when I used to be such a booze head. Like, I used to drink a lot. And I mean, not like to a level of like an alcoholic, but just, yeah, I would never say no to alcohol and drinking, and it was my way to relax and just, let go and treat myself and all that kind of stuff. During this challenge, one of the things that I did was actually no alcohol unless it was a special occasion. And so pretty much, I think I might have drunk like once during that 30-day challenge. And in fact, I think I had to do it for more than 30 days because I skipped quite a few days of not being able to do everything. Yeah, and I realized by the end of it, like, I didn't actually miss alcohol that much. I wasn't getting hangovers. I was saving money. I was saving calories. It's not that great for you. And actually, not many of my friends drank, fortunately. So I wasn't the only alcoholic, just drinking on my own when I was hanging with my friends. So yeah, like I just felt great about not drinking alcohol. So I just kept that going. So even now, like, I did this challenge, I don't know, maybe a couple of years ago, I want to say. But even now, I still don't drink unless a special occasion and every time I bring it up to people and they're like, oh, come on, just have one drink. This is a special occasion. And then people just make excuses like any event, it suddenly turns into a special occasion. But yeah, I feel so great. So anyway, my point is, doing this 30 hard challenge the first time round helped me so much and actually introduced a brand new habit into me. And that this is actually when I actually multiple brand new habits, because this is when I started exercising more frequently, more regularly, almost every day. So yeah, I wanted to bring it back. So that was a very long way of saying I'm doing the 30 hard challenge to get my A into gear. And I would challenge you to do the same, to do something similar. Maybe you've heard of the 75 hard challenge. Maybe that's more your level of game. If so, I applaud you and mad respect for you for even trying to attempt that. Good on you. But even if you want to do your own version of like a 30 hard challenge with me, do it. Start now. Start today. Like on Sunday, that's when I decided to start doing this challenge. So I've got like day 0 in there where I kind of started doing some parts of it. And then day 1 was when I started getting serious and I started doing all the activities. But yeah, I'd love to know if you are going to do this challenge with me. I'd love to know. Leave me a comment, send me a DM, and let's encourage each other. Let's be accountable buddies, because the first few days are easy. I'm in the easy mode right now, but I know that once those first few days, like the honeymoon phase is over, it's gonna start getting bloody hard. And any encouragement from my fellow 9 to CEOs would be amazing. So let me know, or just leave me, even if you're not doing the challenge, please leave me your comments of encouragement. I would really appreciate it. But anyways, that's it from me. I'm really excited because tomorrow will be my last day of work for a while in my day job. And then from Friday, it is Good Friday. So I'm not sure when I'm actually going to be publishing this episode. I still need to edit and publish my first episode from the other day. Yeah, at the moment, it is just before Good Friday. And I'm so excited because I'm taking the days off between Good Friday and Anzac Day. So I've pretty much, it means that I've got like 10 days off in a row, including all the weekends and stuff, where I don't have to go into my day job, so I can just like go hard on my business. And I love days like this. And it's a bit sad and funny that people who juggle business and full-time job, pretty much anytime there's like public holidays or days off, you spend it on your business. Not on, most people are like, oh, what should I do to have, enjoy my break? But the rest of us are like so excited about having all this extra time to do business work. But hey, this is the path that we chose. So I hope everybody enjoys or has enjoyed. I'll probably publish this after the holidays have passed, but hope you have all enjoyed and had a safe, fun Easter and Anzac holiday. And I will catch you guys again soon. Thanks for listening in. Really appreciate you being here. Thanks for hanging out. And I'll catch you in our next episode. Bye.